Hey folks, this is Kalani. The WoW REMIX Mr. Pandaria event brings us a whole new way to experience the content of Pandaria. There's a lot going on in this event and it plays very differently from the normal retail game, so we're going to go through how to make a time running character, the most important aspects of the event, how to get your spell gems super quickly, and how to collect all of those sweet rewards on offer. So here's our WoW REMIX Pandaria Ultimate Guide. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. Creating a character for the new Pandaria event is super simple. After the event has gone live on May 16th, whenever you create a new character you will be given two options, a normal standard retail character or a time running character. The time running option is what you're looking for to take part in the event, so just select that whenever you make a character. It's worth noting that the realm you have selected is the realm that your event characters will be on when the event ends, so if you want your event characters to end up on a specific retail realm, double check your realm selection before you jump in. You'll start in a little intro experience on the Timeless Isle that kinda sets the stage and gets you all ready for some Mr. Pandaria adventures. As you work through the intro section of the event, you will be given your Cloak of Infinite Potential. This cloak is one of the most important items for the event because it provides you with a stacking set of bonuses in the Time Runner's Advantage buff. As you play, your cloak will get more powerful, and there don't seem to be any limits here, so you should just be able to keep getting stronger and stronger. To increase the power of your cloak, you'll need to collect threads of time. Initially, each thread will increase your cloak buffs by 1, so it will add 1 to strength, or 1 to mastery, or 1% bonus experience. The threads themselves are random when they drop. I don't think you can target specific buffs, so your main goal will just be to collect as many threads as you can to increase your overall power level. Threads drop from literally every type of content, so whether you're killing random mobs, opening boxes and chests, or killing dungeons and raid bosses, you'll have a chance to earn some more threads of time from any activity. As you level up, the threads you can find will become more powerful, adding even more stats and bonuses to your cloak. Eventually, you will start getting epic threads which add 12 stats or bonus experience per thread, allowing you to stack these buffs much faster at higher levels. Now from PTR testing, it seems like dungeon and raid bosses will be some of the most reliable sources of threads for your cloak, which could increase the value of those types of content, but ultimately it will depend on how everything works up at level 70, and quite a few things could be different from the PTR test. As a nice bonus, some of your cloak's progress will also carry over to ults, and the more threads you unlock in your main's cloak, the more power your ults will start with. This is all tied to various achievements, so getting these achievements will be very important if you want to level up multiple characters, and there are some very cool bonus rewards for completing these achievements as well, but this power carryover will make leveling your ults much easier and faster. It's also worth noting that you only have to go through this intro section once. Every character after the first will have the option to skip over everything, grab your cloak and head straight into the leveling portion of the adventure, so that's nice. Something you will notice very quickly in the event is that quest rewards, and really gear in general, don't work like they usually do in retail. Almost all rewards come in the form of a cache or box to open instead of rewarding you with gear directly. This is especially true of quest rewards. The boxes can contain gear, ability or spell gems, and the bronze currency, so getting gear is going to be quite different, but the actual gear is also very different itself. Most of your gear isn't really going to have any stats, it will instead have different types of sockets. There are meta gem sockets, cogwheel sockets, tinker gem sockets, and prismatic gem sockets. As you level up, your gear will start having multiple sockets as well, letting you equip even more gems to power up. Meta gems are going to be the big ones. These provide you with crazy abilities or bonuses that let you go absolutely ham. These are mostly active abilities with decently long cooldowns, so you want to take advantage of them as often as you can. Tinker gems are more passive effects, but there are still some really powerful options in here, especially if you start to equip more and more as you level. You can increase various types of damage, give yourself a tankiness or healing boost, and generally just increase the power level of your character. Cogwheel sockets are only on your boots and will provide you with some extra mobility spells and options from other classes, which could be really interesting. And then prismatic gems are just straight up stat gems. These can be combined into more powerful versions, so 3 gems of the same stat can be combined into a better gem, letting you work your way up to legendary gems to increase your stats even further, but this means that you essentially get to pick every main stat that goes into your gear, so you can always pick your best stats for your spec or class. Now all of these gems can drop from almost anywhere, so as you play and level you'll get a lot of different gems to keep track of no matter what kind of content you are taking part in. You can also unsocket gems at any time using the special unsocket spell that everyone learns right away, and you will always want to unsocket a gem before placing another gem in that slot just to make sure you don't override or delete anything. You will also have the option to buy your gems, so if you're struggling to get the one you want from random drops, you can buy some specific gem items to have an extra chance to get the one you want. You shouldn't ever see duplicate meta, tinker or cogwheel gems, so as long as you're unsocketing them you shouldn't ever see the same gem drop twice outside of prismatic gems, which means you will eventually get one of each. Now if you're trying to buy gems from a vendor, that's going to cost a new currency called bronze. Your bronze currency does more than just help you acquire gems faster, it fuels almost everything in this new event. You can use bronze to buy consumables to make your character stronger, upgrade your gear to higher item levels, and it's also the currency you will need if you're wanting to buy any of the transmogs, mounts, toys or pets. Bronze is probably one of the most important parts of the entire event. Thankfully, it's also very easy to acquire. You'll be earning bronze from every activity in the event, so killing monsters, completing quests, opening caches, killing dungeon bosses or raid bosses, completing scenarios, daily quests. You get the idea. As long as you are playing the event, you'll be building up your bronze currency reserves. You can also turn spare gear into bronze too, so whenever you upgrade and replace your gear, or whenever you get some items that you don't actually need, you can pop them into your special bronze scrapping portal to turn all of that spare gear into the bronze currency. So all gear is valuable, even if you aren't going to use it or wear it, because any extra gear translates directly into more bronze currency. You can spend your bronze currency at the Infinite Bazaar. To find one of these locations, just open up your world map and look for the new icon. Here you'll find vendors for all sorts of transmog unlock options, mount vendors, toy vendors, various consumable vendors, there are upgrade NPCs to upgrade your gear, and then there's also the gem vendor that we talked about earlier. If you're wanting to spend some bronze and get some goodies, these are the places to be. There's one in most of the Pandaria zones, so you'll never be too far away from them. So that's the big system or feature point that you need to know about and how that works, but how does leveling work? Well, after the intro experience, we're pretty much just thrown into the Mists of Pandaria expansion, starting in the Jade Forest. It's the same questing experience as when the expansion launched, from what I can tell, so don't expect to see anything new or exciting on your way to level 70 in terms of story or quests. As you level up, different zones will become available, and every zone is actually up and running right from the get-go, so even the ones which are added in later patches, back when Pandaria was the current expansion, like the Timeless Isle or the Isle of Thunder, they're in the game and ready to play, so there is zero time gating on the actual content, you just need to get to a high enough level to start up the quests in those higher areas. So that's really interesting. Quests are going to reward you with experience and bronze caches for you to open. If you decide to work your way through the story quests, remember that we do have flying unlocked right from the get-go in this event, so you should have access to all of your flying mounts as well as your dragon riding mounts. Both styles of flying are available, so you can zip around using vigor and dragon riding abilities, or you can take the relaxed AFK flying option if you would prefer. Either way, flying will make questing very quick and streamlined, so don't forget to make good use of it. You will have some other options for leveling up though. Scenarios and dungeons are available right away at level 10 to queue into, and as you level, more and more scenarios and dungeons will become available. If you weren't around during the Mists of Pandaria expansion, a scenario is basically just a mini dungeon with no strict role requirements. Work through a few different objectives and you're all done. Dungeons are pretty much what you would expect if you've been playing WoW for a while. They are the Mists of Pandaria expansions, as well as some older dungeons that were updated or changed for the Mists of Pandaria expansion, so you'll get to revisit some of those, blast through some bosses, and earn some loot and experience. Both scenarios and dungeons can be queued into via the random group finder, so you don't have to set up the groups manually, making a very easy way to hop in and farm some experience. Another cool change for this event is that raids become available as you level as well, including the looking for raid option for these raids, so you don't have to wait until max level to jump into some of the Mists of Pandaria raids. The first one to become available is the Mogashan Vaults, and that opens up at level 25. Every Mists of Pandaria raid will open up by the time you are level 60, giving you plenty of raids to work through for bonus experience and shiny loot on your way to max level. So as you level up through this event, you'll have new zones, scenarios, dungeons, and raids to tinker around with, giving you plenty of options for how to level, which will be great when it comes to alts especially, so you can level different ways through different types of content for each character to help keep things interesting. There will also be heroic versions of the raids available at level 70, so there are endgame options available in this event, and they could end up being extremely valuable in terms of bronze earnings, gear upgrades, and threads of time. I am very interested to see how difficult and rewarding they end up being with all these different systems in place. With all of that in mind, I know some folks are going to be asking, what is the fastest or best way to level? Honestly, it is going to depend on you a little bit. When the event first starts up, you can guarantee there will be a lot of players running around. The questing experience in Mr. Pandaria is kind of old. Some of the quests don't work very well when there are hordes of players competing for resources, like interactable objects and items or monster kills, so leveling through questing will probably be very slow to start off with. Now, scenarios and dungeons offer you a space to level up without any competition. You just smash through the mobs, kill the bosses, collect your loot and XP, and queue up again. Both scenario and dungeon queues are available right away at level 10, so you can jump straight in. This will most likely be the fastest way to level for the vast majority of the leveling process, quite simply because you don't have to compete for anything, and the skill gems and abilities that you can get let you clear through dungeons incredibly quickly. When you unlock the first raid at level 25, that was actually even faster for leveling on the PTR. Thanks to the ability gems, we were clearing an entire LFR wing in just 5 minutes. The PTR also didn't have any limits or lockouts for raids, so if that holds true for the actual event launch, LFR spamming will be one of the fastest ways to level yet again. Obviously, things could change from the PTR, so we'll have to play it by ear when the event goes live on May 16th. Now, obviously, if you don't enjoy group content, this won't be great news for you, but I can say that pretty much every type of content will be easier in this event, so try not to get intimidated by group content. Gems will carry everyone no matter what, so I would queue up, see how it goes, and decide after you've done a few dungeons. Questing will always be there for you to level by yourself, it just might not be super quick. And then the last important factor of this event are the rewards. What can you get out of this event? Is it even going to be worth playing? What's the whole point here? Well, there are two main factors in my opinion, the actual rewards and then the leveling options that this event opens up. The rewards are pretty straightforward. A mountain of transmog from all types of content, including group content on practically every difficulty, rare mounts that would require a lot of farming in retail or super lucky drops, things like the Astral Cloud Serpent, the Heavenly Onyx or Thundering Onyx Cloud Serpent, and pretty much every other rare mount available from Mr. Pandaria content, but then there are also recolors of popular mismounts as well that are not available anywhere else, so a lot of mounts to add to your collection. There are also toys, some of which are actually unobtainable in game right now, so super rare toys to pick up too. Then there are also various other rewards from achievements, so there are lots of goodies to get your hands on, and the event gives you a very straightforward path for collecting everything you might want. For the vast majority of cases here, you just have to farm the bronze currency. Do that and you can unlock 99% of the rewards available in this event. All of this stuff is also going to unlock across your account as well, so you don't have to worry about them only being available to a single character or only during the event. You'll be unlocking all of this stuff for the rest of your account for retail. And then the event also just gives us a new way to level up at the end of the expansion and get your alt army ready for the war within. All of these characters move over to retail realms after the event is over, which will probably be just before the war within expansion launches. So if you want to level some characters in a bit of a different way, this event could change things up for the better while you work towards your alt army goals. With a super powered up Cloak, your alts will probably zoom through the leveling process as well, especially with that bonus XP buff taken into consideration, so this might be the fastest leveling we've ever seen. So the event will be great whether you want to level some extra characters or earn a bunch of cosmetic rewards. If you're interested in the event and maximizing your leveling speed or reward acquisition, we're going to have plenty of videos going over the important aspects of the event in more detail after it launches. But that's everything you should need to know about the WoW Remix Mr. Pandaria event, so that's it for this video. What are you most looking forward to in this event? The new spell and ability gems, the stacking bonuses in the special cloak, or just experiencing the Mr. Pandaria content again? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members who are on YouTube. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you'd like to add your name to the end of every video with a special shout out at the start of the next video, you can find links in the description over to Patreon or click the join button just below this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.